Oh, we're live. Morning, guys. So we're trying something new today, and we've actually put the laptop outside. Don't know if that's a really don't know if that's a really stupid idea or not. We just thought you wanted to enjoy the view, but we can't really see. We're kind of squinting, and let us know if the sound's really bad. Okay? Just give us some feedback and we can move you downstairs. You're not in.
Why don't you get our headphones?
Why do we need headphones?
Just need that little microphone. Right, sounds good.
Should be good. Oh, Randy said it sounds good. Thank you. We've also got our first question from Randy. Hiya, all right. You all right?
Yeah, really good.
Good.
Really,
Yeah,
really good.
I'm all right too. Thanks, Randy. Sorry about him. So, welcome to Finding Avalon's third patrons only live chat. Thanks for joining us. We thought we would start this with a few updates because it's been a while actually, and a few things have. What are you pointing at?
Too much glare.
Should we go downstairs? Yeah, we're gonna go downstairs. Sorry about this. Sorry. I just heard Jackson sigh. You have to go that side. He's not impressed. Well, that was good while it lasted, I guess. Oh, hi, Jill. Nice to see you. So welcome, everyone. Yeah, so we thought we might give you a few updates. Where are we?
So we are currently in Fiji.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really amazing here. We've been having such a good time. I don't know where you guys are up to with following the YouTube channel and how up to date you are, but YouTube's probably about 5 or 6 weeks behind and still has us in Tahiti. So since then we've covered about 2,000 miles and stopped in on some like amazing places along the way.
I've seen some amazing guests.
Yeah, it's also been for us the first, well, it's been the longest stretch for us. Just the two of us sailing, double-handed sailing as well.
It's been really fun.
So yeah, that's been an experience.
Yeah, the double-handed thing, I think each their own, but I much prefer it, to be honest, because we're in such a good rhythm now. We've been sailing together for this long, and we hardly really need to even speak to each other when something needs doing. It's kind of like telepathy now. And also with the fish catching as well, it's been working out pretty well. We've got a little system down pat, and we've caught some monsters, so that's been really fun. Yeah,
the fishing's been like amazing, eh?
Yeah, really good.
So we're just hanging out here in Fiji for not too sure, maybe another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. And then we're on for the final stretch back to Australia, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, feels weird, guys. Feels really weird, but we're so excited. And we can't wait to share with you our home. And gotta say, we haven't actually counted how many countries we've been to, but many. And we've been sailing around the world for about 18 months now, and we can't really find too many places as good as Australia. I know that's a big shout, but
yeah, I reckon you're spot on there though.
Yeah, it's honestly just a dream of a country, and they don't call it the lucky country for nothing. So we definitely feel really lucky to call it home. So it's going to be good to take Avalon to her home port. And yeah, in terms of updates, if you didn't know already, I've put a little book page on our website, which is actually linked in the recent episode that went out. And it's just all the books that have inspired us along the way. And if you haven't seen that already, check it out. What else? Oh, there's a few new blog posts up on the blog. I'm trying to do sort of an Atlantic crossing theme at the moment because it's Atlantic crossing season. So I thought people might be curious to see how Atlantic crossing rolls, really. So that's that. And then another update is actually a really sad one. So we recently learned that one of our patrons is amidst a battle with cancer, and we just wanted to mention that right now, just to give everyone an opportunity to send out some love to the Martin family.
Yeah.
Because they're just such a beautiful family, and it's a horrible thing to go through, and just we wish you a speedy recovery.
Yeah. So sending our love to you guys.
Yeah, so much love. All right, so are we ready to move into questions?
Yeah. Did you want to go for those other bits here?
What other bits?
In your updates?
Oh, I missed one of the updates. So probably the most important update is that we have actually scheduled our first event for Finding Avalon. So as you know, we're going to be in our home port of Sydney in December, and I've created an event on our Facebook page so that if anyone's around in Sydney, you can actually come and watch us sail through the heads into the Pittwater, which is our home bay, and that's where Avalon is.
Yeah. And we definitely know that some of our friends and family are going to be there.
Yeah, with some flags and bras.
Some people are going to be meeting us out there on the boats as we come through, and then we'll head to the pub.
Yeah. That's got to happen. So yeah, that's going to be on the 14th of December at 12 p.m. We're going to try and stick to that. We've got some sneaky tricks of how we're going to try and stick to that, but Mother Nature also always has the final say. So yeah, just go onto our Facebook page. You can join the event if you're going to be around, and we'll post live updates on there so that if anything changes, you will know about it.
Yeah. So one of the important ones here is from Randy, and he says, "Nice shirt, Jackson." Another.
I didn't realize you were wearing
another update. We got our merch.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, a few people got upset that the campaign ended. We're only ever going to run it for 3 weeks, just mainly because my mum wanted a Finding Avalon t-shirt, but turns out a few people wanted them, so we're just going to keep it running.
Yeah. No,
and,
so it's really popular.
I've just disgraced us because I'm not wearing mine, but we got the second design, so all good.
All right, let's jump into the first question.
Yeah, okay. Have you had any really scary shark moments? I mean, you guys seem to just not worry about those jaws out there. That's from Jill.
I think the first scary shark moment was in the Caribbean, and we were snorkeling in between St. Kitts and Nevis. It is in one of our episodes, but anyway, I was shooting lionfish, and I was in this like big depression, like this big cave, and I was in there like under the rock shooting these lionfish, and as I turned around, there was, I don't want to over exaggerate, but there was a huge shark. Like it was at least the size of me.
I didn't see it, so I can't vouch.
Yeah, and it was like inside the cave with me, and I was like kind of pressed up against the rocks, and I like ditched the lionfish, and I came up, and I'm like, all right, I need to find Xanthe. And I came up, and like Xanthe gone, and so I like swam over to the rocks on this little island. I couldn't see her anywhere, so I was kind of like freaking out, like, where's Xanthe? I'm like, all right, I need to go back and get the tender. So I don't know, like 15 minutes has passed by now, and then I swam back to the boat. Meanwhile, that shark and its friend was just like kind of following me the whole way back to the boat, which was probably about.
And its friend.
Yeah, it was probably how far do you think it was? Like 600 meters, 700 meters?
It was a really long.
Like it was pretty far all the way back to the boat, and the whole time going, oh my god, I can't find Xanthe. Get back to the boat. Xanthe's like just sitting up there in the cockpit. She's already swum back. She'd already ditched me like ages ago.
I was looking for him. I didn't ditch
and
him.
Just sitting up there with a drink in hand and not a care in the world.
That is not accurate. Anyway, the most important thing about that whole story is that it happened at Booby Island. Anyway, I've got different different perceptions of sharks now since the beginning. The The funny thing I will say is that it's actually really relaxing swimming when you're not in Australia. We have really quite, we got great whites in Australia, and there are attacks in the news not very often, but it's always on your mind. So it's been quite relaxing swimming in a place where there is abundance of food. There are so many healthy corals around here, so many fish. The sharks aren't going to care about you, and there's just tiny little reef sharks, no great whites. So it's been really nice, really relaxing. And I will say, the more time you spend swimming with sharks, whether it be on purpose or by accident, the more relaxed you're going to be around them, because you realize they really don't give a monkey's about you. They're actually scared. They'll swim the other way. So
I think there's also a really big difference in going to swim with sharks, like purposely saying, oh, let's go swim with the sharks.
Shark surprising you.
As opposed to, a shark surprising you and you don't want to see it. So anyway, it's always a comfort level, but they definitely sometimes get a bit too close.
Yeah.
And and recently here in Fiji, my mum and her friend joined us for a few days, and they were not too keen on seeing it. Because
they're Australian. Australians just have this built-in instinct, like shark bad.
Yeah.
Next question from Jill as well. Do you guys get seasick? That's a good one. We've never had that one before.
I do not get seasick in terms of like vomiting and whatnot, but I do get what I would call as seasick, and it's normally in about day 3 of a crossing, especially if it's been a bit of a hard start to a crossing.
Just get really grumpy.
Where I just get really grumpy. I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't go to the toilet. It's just kind of on the border of exhaustion and whatever else. And it just takes me a bit of time to get in the rhythm of the sailing, to get into the rhythm of sleeping 3 hours, sailing 3 hours, that kind of thing. And yeah, my whole body feels weird and tired and uncomfortable. So that is my version of seasick, but I don't get seasick in the terms of like throwing up, nausea.
Yeah, and we've obviously been seasick and seen a lot of people seasick now, and can definitely tell you it manifests itself differently in everyone. And in both of us, actually, I've never vomited from being seasick, but I definitely get grumpy, turn into a dragon, like absolute bitch, and just really lethargic and not happy. That's basically how it manifests. So I guess we get off lightly. I can actually, no one knows this actually, I edit on passage. I make sure, unless it's really, really rough, I actually do a couple of hours of editing every day when we're at sea, and I'm fine. Sometimes I'll take a seasickness tablet to
You're
edit.
Fine.
There's been days when I've come down and Jackson comes down, he's like, you're green, you need to stop right now. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And then just I'm just lying in the cockpit going, why didn't you stop?
Yeah, for sure. She's like complete, and then she's useless for the rest of the day, and I am doing half her watch because she feels so sick. I'm like, oh, now I feel sick. I've been looking at the computer.
Sorry. All right, next question. Sorry for these questions. Can I just make a comment, Jill? This is a Q&A, so
yeah, keep them coming.
Thank you for these questions. Don't apologize. Chris says, hey, heart eyes emoji. Heart eyes emoji back to you, buddy. Jill says, you guys are so beautiful, sending love, especially to the sick patron. Oh, thank you. She'll appreciate that. Randy.
Okay. How long will we be in Australia before traveling again? Really good question.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
If you could answer that for us, that'd be great. Help.
So I guess really quickly, for those for those who have been following the adventure from the beginning, it was always our dream to travel back home and take the boat back home, and
hence the name,
and to go traveling for 18 months.
Finding Avalon.
And we can't believe that we're here at the final stage, about to head home. Like, it is a dream come true that this part of the adventure has been able to play out as it has.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have done it without our YouTube channel and just without your support. I mean, you guys made it happen. We would have had to stop a long time ago. So thank you, I guess. Thank you so much for your support, because yeah, you've been able to see that dream through.
You've made this for us, guys. Like, there's been times when we've been like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. We nearly booked flights home and we're going to put Avalon up, but you guys have been so positive, like a beacon of light through this whole thing, and sort of like a stand-in family, I guess. And
definitely.
just been there when the chips have been down, celebrate the highs with us. And
oh yeah, your support goes way beyond your contributions. So like, it really means a lot to us. So yeah, look, we're on this final leg back to Oz. There's a few options that we're floating at the moment. It's you know, we could go back and sell Avalon as originally planned, and then start thinking about the upgrade.
I forgot you can see me.
You can start thinking about the upgrade, and really think about what the next adventure might be for us. We're definitely going to go back and work for a bit and earn a little bit more money and put the cruising kitty back together.
Much needed.
Or we might hang on to Avalon. I don't know. Maybe we won't be able to sell her. Maybe the market's not great. Maybe we just want to keep her, but we definitely want to explore Oz a little bit more. And we are really thinking about, exploring Australia a lot more by sea. And then we definitely want to come back out here to the South Pacific.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many spots, especially up in this part of the South Pacific, being sort of like Tonga, Fiji, New Caledonia, Vanuatu. Like, there's just places we just have not even.
Yeah. Haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah, I haven't crashed.
I
haven't scratched the
Touch
surface.
the wood right now. Touch the wood.
Yes.
Bloody hell. Okay, so we've only done 2 island groups in Fiji, and we've been here for ages.
Yeah,
and we did
like
1
3
island
weeks.
group in Tonga. And if somebody told me that I could only ever go to Tonga and Fiji for the rest of my life, I'd be all right with that. They're amazing. So, but I think the simple solution would just be to buy a puppy and circumnavigate Australia. But he's not sure about that. Anyway, next question.
But anyway, how long will we be in Oz? The short answer is we don't know yet.
Don't know.
But we're really excited to explore Oz and show you that part and keep you updated as the adventure goes on.
OMG, love it that there's no worry about swimming with sharks. Thank you. You're welcome. Thea Bigelow, what kind of fish are you both holding and smooching in your last post? Do you want to take this one?
Is it the wahoo?
Get your leg out.
Oh,
you're not that flexible, actually.
Yeah, I can't get that.
He's really good at yoga, but he can't do that.
It must be the wahoo. Yeah?
Yeah, it's the wahoo.
Yeah, so for those who have seen the episode, midway across the Pacific crossing.
It's called The Scariest Moment.
I got bitten by a wahoo, possibly maybe the hook as well, but when I was trying to land the wahoo, it really badly cut my leg open. It is by far, I think, the tastiest fish. It's my favorite fish to eat.
Amazing.
What says this? Trying to reconnect. It is a big wahoo. They're not the most amazing like fighting fish.
No, they're pretty docile
until they get to the back of the boat.
Yeah.
And then they're nuts. But yeah, we've caught easily the coolest fish along this trip, like here in the south, like the biggest mahis and the biggest wahoos. 6 months,
which makes me really happy because I hate having to cook meat.
Yeah, so we haven't bought any meat for 6 months. We've been just totally fed by the fish we catch, and we stocked up our freezer and we fed all our guests for the last 2 weeks with all our fish.
Yeah, your mum loved the wahoo
and mahi, and yellowfin tuna.
Yeah, yellowfin.
So anyway, the last fish was a wahoo.
Yeah, you could talk about fish for days.
Oh yeah, I could.
Yeah. Don't ask him any more fish questions. It's going to take forever. Okay, next question. Jackson Grumpy. Who would have thought it? I know, he's just always so chipper, isn't he? I call him Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah, I know.
Also, I need to give you some credit here. In Fiji, it's 9 a.m. This guy would not be talking to me at this time of day. He's not a morning person. He would have just got up. His hair would have been like a freshly hatched chicken out of its egg. And he would have this thing that I call breakfast face, where he literally, for an hour after waking up, he stares into space.
Yeah.
And if you put something in front of him, he'll read it. So it's quite funny, but like cereal box facts on the back of the cereal box. But he won't talk to you.
Mm.
So
anyway, enough of that.
Next question.
Now that you've nearly finished your journey, what's the most beautiful island? Oh.
Well, my dad always laughs about this because apparently it's true though. Every time we get somewhere, we say, this is the best place ever.
Mm.
So he's like, which is it?
I would probably vote, I think Tuamotu's.
Apataki.
Yeah, Apataki. I think the Tuamotus and Fiji, but I know they're like countries. But
what about Malpiha'a?
Yeah, that was pretty good, but it didn't have any surf.
That's true. All right, yeah. Apataki is the full package.
Full package.
Yeah, we'll say Apataki. Palm trees, white sand beaches, fishing. There's no ciguatera there.
Mm.
Best surf he's ever had in his life. I would actually go as far as to say that's the best free diving I've ever done as well.
Last did you sail back in high school? The 13-foot skiff, which is very similar to a 29er. And then towards the end of high school, I started sailing the 16-foot skiffs. I don't think there's anything similar to a 16-foot skiff. If you don't know what that is, maybe just Google it. And then the 18-foot skiffs. So yeah, doing a lot of skiffs. And before that, which would be primary school for us, was dinghy sailing in the Manly Juniors and the Flying 11s.
You tried to get your sister into it, didn't you? Went
yeah.
down like a sack of spuds.
Yeah. You're a better first mate.
I think
you came back for a second day.
I think
Georgia never came back after the first day.
If you took me on the dinghies, I'm not sure how I would have fared. Although you did take me out on your skiff, and that was quite thrilling.
Yeah. So anyway, I do a lot of skiff racing, and I'm really excited to go back and start skiff racing again. I'm so jealous of all my mates back home because the skiff season's just started. Mm-hmm. They've all just got their new boats, and yeah, it's really cool.
Never going to see you again. He's just asked more questions related to that. Can you see?
Oh, okay. Like a 49er. The 16s are probably, a similar size to the 49er, except they have 3 crew, but only 2 crew can be on the trapeze. So you just toss up as as you're doing different maneuvers and stuff, there's only ever 2 crew on the trapeze. But yeah, I would say almost as fast as a 49er, and they probably have a bit more sail area. But yeah, Google it, 16-foot skiff.
We have just received a very insensitive and rude question. Randy, you've really touched a nerve there. How many drones have we lost?
We are now up to, we don't have a drone now, but
we did. They don't actually know about the drone that we don't have. Do you want to explain?
First drone, Xanthe dropped in the ocean. Second drone, I dropped in the ocean.
He won't admit it though. It just magically fell.
It ran out of range, but it was close to us. The app crashed. Couldn't find it. So I went back to the last GPS coordinate, and sure enough, there it was, about 8 meters down, sitting on top of a coral head. I was in charge. And then we bought a new drone,
Tony the Third,
which our friends brought to us from the US. We did buy it off eBay. And on its first test flight in the car park, the gimbal caught on fire. And I'd only it literally taken off. It'd been in the air for probably 30 seconds, and the screen went black. So I put it back down, and then noticed smoke coming out of the gimbal. And yeah, I will say we actually got our money back on that because it was clearly a dodgy product. As soon as it turned on, it caught on fire. But
you've got a black mark against your eBay now because he said that you scammed him. But that's
no, I didn't. I didn't. But anyway,
we didn't scam him. But he's 3
drones, and we don't have a drone now.
Yeah, so. And we're loving life without a drone. It's every time we see a drone, hear the zzz, it gives me anxiety. And that reminds me, we were boozing at Cloud9 Bar. It's like this bar on a reef
Mm.
a couple of days ago and plopped into the water in front of everyone. It's so embarrassing for them. Yeah, so I think they're more trouble than they're worth.
It was just like we were there and like we could hear the sound where, like, for those who have a DJI, it's like when the battery's like dee-dur, dee-dur.
And we were like, we would have stopped the drone by now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he needs to bring it back. That battery's gonna die. And he flew it out for another photo, and then it's like, and he's like, oh, fuck.
It's a shame because I really wanted to go and ask him to email me the footage because Avalon was in it, but he learned his lesson. Okay.
There's another one here.
Yeah, from Jill.
Yeah.
Jill, you're firing a little. Jackson gets over this sometimes. Yeah. Very rarely, but sometimes it's too much sailing.
And it's not the big ocean crossings. It's actually all the little bits of sailing in between and just how long that takes. And so, and what I mean by that is, like, there is so much like preparation that goes into sailing. So it's like, you know, when you're trying to cruise the Caribbean or you're trying to cruise the islands here, it's not like, oh, just duck over there to that island. It's like, you know, there's 15 minutes of getting the boat ready, 15 minutes of warming up the engine, pulling up the anchor, setting it all again. Like, there's so much time and energy put into that for the pace that we've been doing. So I know it sounds stupid, but I guess in some ways I didn't realize just how much sailing we'd be doing. Luckily, I do enjoy
thing.
Yeah.
But then we could chill out with you. I was not prepared for that. And what I've done with it is I've just kind of taken it in my stride, and because normally I'm a really energetic kind of Labrador puppy kind of person, like always going out, and I'm more of a sit on the deck and have a cup of tea kind of gal, and I'm embracing this life takes it out of you.
Yeah, I don't know. Filling in a little bit of time. Here's another one. How many reefs you've got in the main? Oh, how many reefs we've got in the main? I always underestimated the rig. Again, just I guess coming from that skiff philosophy of just having always way too much canvas up. Yeah, when you're out there in 25 knots, a third reef is a really nice thing to have. So yeah, we actually use the third reef a lot. Particularly, I like to use it at night if we're goose winged out. I like to just go full Genoa and have the third reef in the main, simply because it just really limits the risk of the Chinese jibe and the power of the Chinese jibe, but also means that you don't have your mainsail completely down. And then if you do get hit by a squall or something like that, you can just like reef in your Genoa really quick, and you might be in 30 knots and you've got your third reef already nicely set. So if you do round up or something like that, you've got a good piece of main up, but you don't have to reef. So I would really like the third reef in the main. I think it's a great thing that we put in.
Can I ask you a quick question? Are you downloading something on your laptop?
No.
Oh, okay, because 4 people have just said there's a connection problem. But I hope you get us back, guys. You can watch this over at the end if it went all glitchy here. I'm just going to turn the iPad off. You carry on talking.
Yeah. Another one. Did you ever get a new windlass? Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's in the episode that you're about to see after this. I didn't want to make it live before this because it would be distracting.
Okay.
You're going to meet him.
Yeah, no, we definitely got a new windlass. My God, I'm so glad we got a new windlass. We had to order it from NZ and get it shipped to Tahiti. But yeah, it only took us 5 days in the end. Fit, but it was a 99% fit. And just
was in the boat, and then we went for an ocean passage for 8 days, and we found out that there was a bit of a leak. So we just had just water just streaming into our bedroom for the passage, which was good, but it's all sorted now. So.
Yeah. Should we just wait a second and see if this lag? Are we back on? Maybe it's back on.
Yeah. Okay. So I've just been, oh dear, sorry, Gil. I've just been told by one of our patrons that I've been calling her Jill, but she's called Gil. I'm so sorry. All right, I won't make that mistake again. I'm drinking plastic.
Like there's enough room. Like there's a whole cupboard of tea.
Tea keeps me going. Randy has asked, has Randy, so for those of you who don't know, Randy is our autopilot. Has Randy been performing up to snuff on your passages? It's been very naughty, actually.
Yeah, Randy has been a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So I also, for those who have a boat, you'll know it. For those who are getting a boat, just believe me now. Whenever you try to do a boat project, it is always one step forward, two steps back. So 2 of the buttons on our autopilot display were working. So I was doing some research. People said, yeah, just get some electrical contact cleaner in there. It's probably just a stuck button. So I opened it up, sprayed it with electrical contact cleaner, put it back together. Doesn't work at all. Dried it out in the sun for a day, worked. Buttons still don't work, but now it's not 100% waterproof. My fault for taking it apart. So now we're in the position, well, we were in the position where the helm got wet. The autopilot just went to shit. Like it would turn on, turn off, like wouldn't let you turn autopilot off, up 10 degrees, down 10 degrees. Like it was just freaking out.
Which is inconvenient because when it's raining, it usually means there's a squall. So you're in 40 knots of breeze and sometimes you just need to just turn autopilot on quickly to go and put a reef in or whatever. Can't.
So then we had our nav station just in a big plastic bag, so like no water could get in. And then once autopilot's set, we couldn't turn it back on. So that has happened, but thankfully my mate from home who already helped us with all our nav gear originally, he sent us a new head, like a second-hand one.
Yeah.
And had stuff.
Your mate?
Water. Definitely give him a call for all your marine electronics.
We got all our electronics from BME, Barrenjoey Marine Electrics. Yeah, because it's just the customer service is top notch, and we just wanted to have a simple way of dealing with warranty stuff if we needed to. So unfortunately, a lot of people are saying that they're losing us, and I can see a lot of the attendees kind of dropping off. So I think questions are going to be dry from now, but guys, you can rewatch this after. So sorry for any of you who are missing out. So we did get some questions from a patron called Mark who couldn't actually make it today. So I thought I might read those out. So he's an Aussie doing exactly what we're doing. He actually found us because he was Googling how to buy a boat in Croatia and sail to Australia. So his questions are down here. Here we go. Most of these are for you, Jackson. So do you want to stop?
Yeah, I'm
being a naughty kid in the corner.
Well, I was going to see because my computer was connected to the internet.
Yeah. Okay. So first question is based on timing. As to when we settled on the boat in Australia, how long did it take to get Finding Avalon Australian registered, and what were the costs involved in the transaction and registration?
I would say it probably took, in reality, it probably took almost 6 to 8 weeks to get Avalon fully registered. The biggest problem I had was like originals. So like getting original documents from Croatia, like they just need original everything, won't accept scans. So it's like trying to get your boat broker to send an original owner's thing, and then owner's thing, like payment. What am I trying to say? Your receipt, like a proof of purchase. So like getting an original proof of purchase, getting an original survey signed, getting an original letter, all that stuff, you know, getting that sent from Croatia to me and then me down to Canberra, and then getting all that stuff sent back again was actually really painful. And the biggest problem we had was when we finally went back to Croatia, we still didn't have our registration, but I had to send one form back. And I sent it, and the brilliant Croatian authorities decided that my letter should go to Austria instead of Australia. So my letter was bouncing between Austria and Croatia for about 2 weeks until I went back to the post office and said, like, why has it not arrived yet? It was an express post, etc., etc. And they finally said, oh, yeah, we've been sending it to Austria. So that was frustrating.
Yeah.
But I would say, I think it cost us probably like, I think it's like $1,700 or $1,800 Aussie to get it registered on the ship's register. And yeah. And then the other problem you then have is then trying to get all the originals sent back to you. So given the postage, I just did not want to send our like original registration document to us in Croatia. So I sent it with a mate who was coming to meet us in Greece. So for the first like 6 weeks, we didn't even have our original document. I just had scans.
And to be honest, it was annoying. It set us back, but it didn't form a barrier. We just got shouted at in the immigration office in Montenegro, and then shouted at again in Greece for not having the original, but they let us in. So yeah, you just have to cop a little bit of abuse from them. And our top tip for Greece was, if you don't have the original, if you laminate it, they will be more merciful.
Yeah, well,
so that's what we did. And yeah,
you just tell them, yeah, it is original, and they say no, it's not. You say, well, it is original, and they go, bah.
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah. Done.
The next question is, secondly, now that you're in home, if you're interested in selling the boat, what Australian duties do you have to pay?
Yeah, it works out at about 15%. So of the valuation. So this is something that we're pretty interested and excited to bring to you guys as to importing a boat into Australia and just how it all really works. But the understanding I've got and the information I've got is when you arrive back in Australia, you need to get your boat valued. And that valuation is generally less than what you paid for the boat, you know, because we've now sailed a bunch of miles. Yes, it's been upgraded, but, you know, depreciation, whatever else. And then you pay 10% GST. 10%? I know you pay 10% import duty, I think, or 5% import duty and 10% tax or something. Anyway, it works out between 10 and 15% of the value. Now, that value is then not necessarily what you might pay. You might sell the boat. So if I just threw easy numbers out there, like let's say we bought the boat for $100,000 2 years ago, it's now valued at say $70,000, but we might sell it for $150,000 in Australia. So you only pay tax on that $70,000, but then you can obviously sell it for more. So yeah, the short answer is between 10 and 15%, which is a lot of money.
Yeah, it actually makes me feel sick a bit.
But that's why, like, one reason why we did buy a boat in Croatia, and make sure when you are buying a boat over there that you do find a boat that is VAT not paid, because the VAT, which is their tax over there, is like 20 to 25%. So it would have been a lot worse if we bought a boat with the VAT paid, and then we'd have to pay tax again back in Oz. So yeah, always look for a VAT not paid boat if you're intending to bring it back to Oz.
All right, we've got 2 minutes left on this chat, so that times well for the last question. Was it all plain sailing, or were you patient enough and had enough time to wait for most of the bad weather to pass. We have been in a hurry on this trip. It's no secret. So, has it been plain sailing?
Yeah. Well, we have had to push a few weather windows here and there. The worst one was actually probably leaving Tahiti in no wind. We probably would have liked to have left later, but just ran out of time.
But that worked out well, and you'll see why.
Yeah.
We did a little trick in 3 episodes' time. 2 episodes.
And then the biggest problem we've probably had is then trying to push weather windows, where the weather in, say, like 4 days' time, 4 or 5 days' time is looking a little bit iffy. Because you need to set sail. Like, it's really hard to wait 4 or 5 days to see what happens. So sometimes you set off, and then sure enough, in that 4th or 5th day, the weather does come in, and you haven't made as much ground as you thought you would. You go, oh, the passage should take 4 days, but geez, day 5 is looking pretty harsh. You don't make as many miles as you thought you would, and you end up sailing day 5, and then it does come in.
Which is why we wouldn't mind, for the upgrade, we wouldn't mind a faster boat, because then you can kind of work within your weather windows. Whereas when you're slow boat sailing, you're kind of at the mercy of what days 5 and 6 have to offer. So, yeah, that's that. We are right on time. So,
any other questions here?
I think we lost everyone.
There's one here still here from Christian.
Oh, okay.
Did you fix the depth transducer, or have you been catching too many waves? The depth has always been working. It's the speed. The speed transducer is still not working.
Yeah.
And the wind transducer works when it wants.
Yeah. It works when it's really, really windy, but it stopped working yesterday. So, don't know.
Yeah.
Boat life, guys.
So we don't have speed through the water, but we have speed obviously on our chart plotter, which is like GPS speed, like speed over ground. So we just use that. But yeah, that's just stuff that I'm just going to wait until I'm back in Oz to fix. It's just a pain in the ass out here. So yeah.
Anyway, well, that's us.
That's us.
We haven't planned what we're going to do today. What we're going to do? It's a nice day.
Yeah, it's a really nice day.
In 3 days. So.
Yeah, maybe go out and find some waves.
Yeah, go and surf. I also want to snorkel the sandbar that we're next to. So
okay,
let's do that. All right. Any more questions before we go? I think we lost you. Sorry. Oh, cheers, guys. Enjoy. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining this live chat. It's been really fun.
Love you.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe the next one's back in Oz.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Hopefully with some good reception. Good data.
Yeah. We're so sorry. We thought that we had the best internet today, but obviously not. So yeah, enjoy. And for those of you who couldn't join today, we hope you enjoy watching this back. Hope there's gold in there. And if your question didn't get answered somehow, just pop it in the comment and we'll get to it.
Yeah. And make sure you send us a message at any time.
Yeah.
As well.
Always love hearing from you.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
See you later, guys.
Love ya. Bye. And